The company was incorporated back in 1938, and it was started by my dear father and his bricklaying buddy at the time, a guy by the name of Francis Powers, and being creative as they always are in naming the companies, Mr. Powers and Mr. Gillespie named the company Gillespie and Powers. About 1960, and my cousin Jack Gillespie joined the company, and they went forward and went into the business of general refractory installation business, and they also developed a specialty of designing and building aluminum melting furnaces in the aluminum industry. It started pretty small, and then it got bigger and bigger, and it got to where it is today, is what it boils down to.
Charlie, it's interesting to hear how successful people get started in an industry. Can you tell us how you got started in the refractory industry?
Yes, it was really quite by accident. I went to school at Washington University here in St. Louis and got an engineering education. And at that time, I had little or no interest in joining the company. I really didn't know a lot about the company at that time. I was doing my thing and my dad was doing his thing. And when I got back from Washington U, I went to work in the county government. And then about 4 or 5 years after that, I met by accident the guy that was running the Gillespie and Powers at that time, which was my cousin. He structured a deal such that I could become a partner with him, and we took off together. What I found when I came into this industry, at least and as it relates to the aluminum melting furnaces, there wasn't a whole lot of scientific analysis involved with previous projects. So being kind of academically oriented, it really was a challenge to me to try to understand, to try to get a better understanding as to exactly what was happening within these systems, these complex refractory systems, what kind of forces were being developed and how these forces were transmitted to the casing. So it was a great opportunity for me. I think the thing that has made us successful in the aluminum industry is our recognition of the specific needs of the people that are running the equipment, the cast house guys. We had really good identity, and we've always had really good identity with the hands-on guys in the field that knew what they wanted and knew what kind of equipment they had to have. And you have an opportunity to really educate them. Sometimes it's to your advantage and sometimes it's not to your advantage, but we educate the people on what they really need, and that's really helped our business. Well, my favorite type of projects are the investigative type of projects that we have been involved with over the years. Several of them that really stuck out. One was the collapse of 2 multiple hearth furnaces in Suffolk County, New York, and we were involved in that investigation to determine the cause of failure. And another one was W.R. Grace, a big horizontal reactor. The roof collapsed, and we were involved in that. And there's been at least a dozen other similar type projects that we were involved in terms of investigating and bringing back an analysis of what happened.
Charlie, if they filmed the show CSI St. Louis, I get the feeling you'd play a leading role.
I would like to be in it. The Harbison and Walker relationship has been immensely beneficial to us. It's an absolute key and essential ingredient for our continued success. And all of these things that I talked about, the aluminum furnaces and our projects in incineration, have always involved H&W, and they've always been very helpful.
Charlie, I see a lot of family photos back there. You're quite the family man, I understand.
Well, I have a dear wife, Joanne. Dear wife, Joanne has put up with a lot of me over the last 50-some years, 50-plus years. And she has blessed me with 3 very, very attractive and wonderful daughters that have provided us with 7 great, wonderful grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. And there's 2 more great-grandchildren on the way, which will be arriving this summer, which we're looking forward to. I thank you very much, and I'm very, very humbled. Very, very humbled. And I would like to take this opportunity to accept this award on behalf of my late cousin and partner, Mr. John Richard Gillespie, and also on behalf of all of the wonderful people here at Gillespie and Powers. We've got a nucleus of wonderful people. There's a small nucleus of people that have been around here almost as long as I have been. Fred Cornell, our chief engineer, and so many other people in the warehouse. There's been it's all about people. As you guys know, it's just all about people. And if we didn't have people, we wouldn't have a company that we had. And it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure on my part to be a part of it, and I really appreciate the award.